I've been meaning to tell you this, really I have. But every time I sit down, even now, the words feel slippery. Like they're alive and they don't want me to share them. I guess that's why it took me so long to even write this down. You remember that weird apartment building I moved into last year? The one on Holloway Street. The one everyone said was unlucky? Yeah, that one. It started the night the lights forgot me. You know how I always leave my hall light on, even when I go to bed? Well, that night I didn't. And when I woke up, the apartment wasn't dark. It was different. I mean, it was dark, obviously, but not the kind you can explain. Not the kind you expect. The shadows didn't behave like shadows. They weren't soft. They didn't bend around corners or spill over furniture. They waited. Every corner, every crevice had its own little shadow, its own patience. They weren't moving, not really, but I could feel them noticing me. And I swear, for a second, I thought the hallway was breathing. I got out of bed like it was normal because when your apartment starts whispering at 2 a.m., you learn to fake it. I flipped on the kitchen light and nothing. Not a flicker, not a hum, just black. And then I noticed the refrigerator. You'd think a fridge is just a fridge, right? But this one, it was glowing. Like someone had placed a candle inside it, but not warm, more like cold fire. And the door was open. I didn't open it, I swear I didn't. It just was. Inside there was a little card, and on the card, in handwriting I didn't recognize, were 3 words. Follow the echo. I laughed, nervously, loud enough that the echo of my own laugh sounded wrong, stretched, like it belonged to a different room. But the card was still there, not on the floor, not on the counter, just floating inside the fridge. I reached for it, and the moment I touched it, the light snapped back on. Normal kitchen light. Everything fine. I should have just burned it. I should have thrown the fridge out. But I didn't. Next day, I couldn't stop thinking about it. About the shadows. About the card. About what follow the echo even meant. And then, when I got home from work, the door was open. Not unlocked, just open. I live alone, so yeah, I panicked. But no one was there. Nothing. Just a faint hum coming from the living room. Like someone was tuning a radio you couldn't see. And then I heard it. A voice. It wasn't my name, exactly. Not yet. It was soft. Kind of like a memory you're only half remembering. Come. And I went. Because I don't know why, okay? I didn't know. I just followed it. It led me to the bedroom closet. The one with all my old winter coats and the boxes I said I'd unpack. The voice got clearer as I got closer. And then the wall wasn't a wall anymore. It was a door. Like a door. Not painted over, not wallpapered. Just a wooden thing standing in my closet. And it smelled wet, earthy, like digging into soil that hadn't seen sunlight in decades. I didn't knock. I didn't check. I just went through. And the other side, I don't know. I don't even know if it was real. It was an empty street. At night. But not my street. Not Holloway Street. The buildings were taller, older. The sky wasn't black, it was thick, like ink stirred into water. And there were lights, but not from street lamps. Little points floating, like fireflies made of glass. And the air? Heavy, full of listening. I tried to breathe normally, but the air didn't move like air. It just pressed against my skin, my lungs, my thoughts. And then the first shadow touched me. Not a full shadow, just a fingertip, a thin edge of darkness brushing my arm. And when it did, I remembered everything I hadn't. Not memories I'd forgotten, memories I'd never had. I saw myself as a child, in a city I didn't know, talking to people whose names I had never heard, laughing, crying, screaming in anger. Moments that weren't mine but felt like mine. And they didn't stop. They kept coming, thousands of tiny lives swirling around me, brushing against me. And the voice, the whispering voice, said, "All of this is mine to remember. All of this is yours to see." I wanted to run, but my feet were part of the street now, and my hands were part of the floating lights. I had no choice but to move forward. Ahead, there was a building, not tall, not massive, just wrong. Windows where walls should have been, doors that opened to more streets. And the voice, "You've been chosen. You always were." I asked it what that meant, and it laughed. Not a normal laugh, a hollow, echoing thing. A sound that made the hairs on the back of my neck tingle, like static electricity running under my skin. Chosen to keep them. Keep who? I asked. My voice didn't sound like mine. Too small, too tight. Them. And then I saw them. People. Not fully people. Shadows of people. Faces blurred like wet charcoal. Bodies incomplete. Walking, running, crying, laughing, all at once. They weren't interacting with me, not really. They were trapped, stuck between now and never. And I knew, somehow, that I was responsible. Why me? Because you can see. The building, or whatever it was, hummed. The windows breathed. And I realized that every time I had ignored something, avoided someone, left someone behind, I had been training. I had been preparing to see them. What do you want from me? To remember, to guide, to keep the balance. Balance. The word felt heavy, like gravity. And it was. Because once I understood, I felt it. Every choice I'd ever made, every life I'd walked past, every whispered lie, all of it had led me here. And now, here I was, keeper of the unseen, guardian of the forgotten. I spent what felt like hours wandering the streets, following lights, herding shadows, listening to whispers that weren't mine but needed me to hear them. Sometimes I caught glimpses of people I knew, friends I had laughed with, strangers I had ignored, lovers I had hurt without realizing, and each one carried a weight. And each weight pressed down on me until my knees hurt, my lungs burned, and my heart ached. And the worst part, I liked it. Not the weight, not the ache, but the knowing, the responsibility. I felt necessary for the first time in my life, like I finally mattered, and that scared me more than anything else. By the time the first light of morning would have hit Holloway Street, I was back. Closet door closed behind me. Apartment as it had always been. Refrigerator closed. Nothing out of place. But I knew. I could never unknow. And every night since, I've gone back. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Because they need me. Because I finally realized what it means to carry something bigger than yourself.